We've already heard Coach Wilson state that he's coming in here to make sure that these athletes understand the history of Morgan State football and play with that tenacity and that urgency out there on the field to make sure that they're putting themselves in position to win games. Looking at what the Morgan State Bears did last season, led a lot of the Morgan State Bears fans scratching their heads wondering like, hey, what in the world is going on here when you're only averaging 5 yards per pass and only scoring 8 touchdowns in the air? So you know Coach Wilson, he's already dissected everything, looking at it from the standpoint of we got to make a change. And making a change is finding a leader to come out there and lead that team down the field to put points on the board. Well, guys, you know Morgan State has the athletes. The million-dollar question is, who's going to be their quarterback? But we're going to talk about it right after this. You know it's your favorite coach back at it again. 10 toes down, about to tell you how it all went down. This is Tomorrow League Sports Network with your host, Coach Walker. If you're new to the channel, please like, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you can get all upcoming videos. For all my leaders out there, welcome back. Y'all know the drill. Y'all know the routine. If you haven't done so already, please like, comment, and share these videos. And tap in a friend or two and tell them to come on in. It's nothing but positive vibes. We're just having a good time talking about HBCU sports. And don't forget, you can follow us on all social media platforms. The links are listed down below in the description. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and tap on in this thing and get straight to it. Because I know you guys are like, Coach, what you got going on now? I see you over there with your blue on. What's going on? Well, hey, guys, you already know. Coach is sitting back, looking at everything. I'm checking my list, checking everything twice to see what we got going on out there. And right now, get back to what Coach Wilson said at the MEAC Media Day, where he stated that the team needed to know the Morgan State football history and how they were out there kicking butt, taking names, doing the things that they need to do to make sure people understood that this team was for real. When they come out there on that field, they're coming to compete. It's just not going to be no half-hearted effort where you're just out there running plays just to get through a game and say, hey, we played today. Coach Wilson is not about that. You already know when it comes to Coach Wilson and his coaches, looking to make sure that they get the maximum effort out of these athletes so that they can understand that, hey, you can get out there and do more with this game if this is something that you want to do. But you got to have pride when you're doing it. And not only that, but when you look back at the history of Morgan State football, remember, they won 14 CIAA championships. They won 3 MEAC championships. And not to mention, they had a couple of coaches in that program that set the bar very high in the beginning to let people know, hey, listen, when you come here to Morgan State and play football, if you're not about that action, this ain't the place for you. And if you don't know who I'm talking about, y'all already know I'm not talking about none other than Coach Hurt, who coached at Morgan State University from 1929 to 59. And then you had Earl Banks, who coached from 1960 to 1973. Those are the 2 winningest coaches that were in that program. But now you got another winning coach that's coming from another program to this program, and that's Coach Wilson coming over from Bowie State, in which they won 3 consecutive CIAA championships. Morgan State has athletes over there on that team that can get out there and play. They were a little young last year, in which, they had to go through the growing pains. And there was some inconsistencies there as far as, making sure that they had the right packages out there on the field for them to do the things necessary, in order for them to put points on the board or for them to move the ball down the field. And a lot of times those athletes out there, they got a little bit confused. They got a little bit down on what was going on, and they didn't have that necessary pick-me-up to let them know, hey, listen, guys, y'all got to dig in and get this thing. Sometimes you got to coach a little harder, coach them up a little bit more for them to understand, hey, look, this you can do this. Get in here and get it. But I'm going to tell you right now, you already know Coach Wilson has already looked over that roster and see exactly what's going on, what he has in there. And he said already he had some athletes in there, but they got to understand where this program is going. And if they understand where this program is going, hey, the sky's the limit. Trust me. Because if Coach Wilson can do it over at Bowie State, and Coach Wilson and his coaching staff can do it over at Bowie State, trust and believe he's going to do it over here at Morgan State as well. And not only that, but in order for you to move the cart forward, you got to have that one piece that's going to be able to get out there and lead the team in the manner which it needs to be led. And that piece is none other than a quarterback. And guess what Coach Wilson has just done? Coach Wilson, it must be Christmas over there, because for this one here fell in your lap. I got to give you props on this one, Coach. The young man that I'm talking about is coming into the program. They say he has great upside. He's an accurate passer. Now, while he was at high school, this young man threw the ball for 3,000 yards, completing 68% of his passes. Now, he's a transfer that's coming into the program from San Diego State University. The young man that I'm talking about is none other than Carson Baker. Now, Baker, who is considered a pro-style quarterback, He was rated a three-star athlete, three-star quarterback, according to 247 Sports. And the craziest thing about this young man is he was ranked 53rd in the country at the quarterback position. He played in 8 games while at San Diego State University, throwing the ball 128 times, completing 78 for 789 yards, 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions with a passer rating of 98.6. Now, this young man can pull the ball down and take off if he has to. He's not a statue in the pocket, and I'm not going to necessarily say he's a dual threat, but he can pull it down and go when he needs to. He's a scrambler in the pocket that would definitely look to make sure he's able to make plays down the field, getting the ball to the open receiver, continue to keep those chains moving. And that's something that you want to see within this offense. Now, Baker, I believe, have 2 to 3 years of eligibility left. I could be wrong. It could be a year after this year. I don't know if he's already used that COVID year or not. So that's why I'm saying 2 to 3. It'll be this year, next year, and maybe the year after. I got it. That was something that I was looking to confirm. But I definitely believe he has 2 years, which would be this year, next year. So that third one, we have to see how that one rolls. But this is definitely a good pickup for Morgan State University now that they have a signal caller that's going to be out there on the field with the team that can move this team down the field and lead them in the manner in which they need to be led. I'm sure Coach Wilson has some other key pieces that have transferred into the program as well that's going to come out there and compete on a high level this upcoming season while they're playing in the MEAC. Again, a lot of folks have Morgan State at the bottom of the list. I'm going to be honest with you. Be careful on how you pick them because Coach Wilson and that coaching staff, and don't forget, you got Coach Sewell over there coaching that daggone defense. They got something special going on with them too, especially from when they was over at Morgan State. So all I'm saying to you guys is this. Coach Wilson, Coach Sewell, and their Morgan State football coaching staff is going to have these young men ready to compete this upcoming season. And if your favorite team get caught slipping out there on the field, don't get mad. But I tell you this, you heard it from Coach Walker first, don't sleep on this team. But I got to say congratulations to Coach Wilson on him finding a signal caller to bring into the program that's going to help move them ahead to get this thing going in the direction that they're looking to go, and which is bringing back that Morgan State pride, and especially when it comes to football, because there's a lot of rich history there when it comes to coaches of the past that have come in there and dominated in the manner in which they have before. And not only that, congratulations to Carson Baker on choosing to come to an HBCU to continue his collegiate football career. And I definitely look forward to seeing you guys get out there on the field and doing some great things. If you like the content, please like, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell to get all upcoming videos. And remember, be the one and lead.